another late night video from me to you. You can tell my eyes. I get tired so early. I'm also on this crazy working out every day. I did incline today, 255, regular bench, 275 before. So we're getting there. Remember, it's weight journey I'm going on too. But what are the benefits if you're selling a house, accepting a cash over versus a loan, right? So there's always pros and cons to everything. So today I'm going to give you some benefits of why you should accept cash over taking a loan. Now, are there benefits of taking a loan over a cash? Sometimes, absolutely. There's benefits to both. But I'm going to tell you something a lot of people don't know, especially in this market. So, what is the difference between a cash deal and a loan? Well, first, that buyer is not using a financial institution whatsoever. They have their own money and they're buying a house, which means there's no pre-approval process, there's no bank, there's no underwriters, there's nothing that can stop this deal from dying from a third party, I should say, unless the buyer themselves do something or back out. Over inspection, obviously. So that's number one. Number two, what comes with that as well is there is no bank appraisal. So what happens sometimes is, let's say the bank appraiser comes in low, and now it's like, well, the buyer either has to come up with the funds or the seller now has to come down in price. There is no bank appraisal unless the seller chooses to, unless the buyer chooses to use a bank appraisal, because even though they're paying cash, they want to protect their cash. It normally doesn't happen. There is no bank. There is no finance contingency. There is no appraisal contingency. You can close quicker, right? Now, yes, they're still going to do an inspection. Any buyer would be crazy not to do an inspection, right? You're still going to do the inspection, make sure everything's good, but there's something a lot of people don't talk about. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. When I'm buying a house, let's just say for this video, your house is $400,000 and I'm getting a loan. I got to put money down, but I also have to pay a certain amount in closing costs, which is like, excuse my language, bullshit fees when you're getting a loan, right? And it's normally around 3%. So let's say those fees are roughly $12,000. As a buyer, I'm going to negotiate with you. Maybe I'm going to say, I only want to give you $390 or whatever. But in this market, I'm definitely going to say, and I want you to pay all my closing costs to the seller, which is another 3%. Well, there is no closing cost for the buyer. Well, let me rephrase that. There is no bank closing cost for the buyer, so there is going to be no 3%. Yes, the buyer will have some sort of closing cost prepaid and title, but nothing near 3% because most of those fees come from buying a house with a loan. So, what happens is, yes, it will be a stronger offer most of the time. Now, the buyer doesn't have to ask for any incentives. Yeah, they can negotiate it off the price. I'm going to stop real quick. I'm going to tell you how you know a good agent from a shitty agent. Let's see if you guys understand this. When you're buying a house, let's just say you guys out there are going to buy my house. And again, I have a house that's $400,000. You say to me, hey, I want you to pay 3% towards closing costs, which means that I'm going to contribute 3% from my proceeds back to you at closing so you don't have to come out of pocket for it. Or in some instances, it's just like rolled into your loan. That's for another day. Okay, hear me out here. So you're putting down a down payment and you have to pay closing costs, but I can credit it to you with the loan. How you can determine an agent when an agent comes, and this happens all the time. Hi, my buyer wants to give you $400,000, but they want 3% back towards closing costs. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't have that closing cost, and if you want the 3% back, why don't you just make the lower offer because it's cash? Get it? Instead of you giving me $400,000 and I give you back $12,000, just make the offer $388. Light bulb. I deal with that stuff all the time. You'd be surprised what I deal with. Anyway, so the point being is, cash offers are normally always stronger because now you have so many more reasons for the deal not to die. The other thing a lot of people don't talk about is When I put money in escrow, by the way, I'm going to do a whole video about escrow myths that people don't know. But let's say I put money in escrow and the title company has it. When you're dealing with a loan, that money's protected by inspection. That money's protected by finance contingency. That could be the length of the loan. That money's protected by appraisal. When you're dealing with cash, that money normally goes hard, which means it normally now goes to the seller after inspections are over with. So if I'm the buyer and I'm buying something cash and the inspection, we negotiate, whatever the case may be, everything's good to go, at that day, whether it's days 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my money now goes hard, which means if I back out for whatever reason, that escrow goes to the seller. That's another reason why sellers like it. By the way, the money really can't just go. It has to be written from both parties for another video. See, I know all this stuff about real estate. I've been doing this a long time. So you're going to say, well, are there other reasons why people then should go with banks over it? There might be, and I'll do a lot of videos on it, where the money's coming from, if they have to take because just because someone's buying something cash, you got to make sure it's actually the cash. It might be coming from a home equity line. It might be coming from a gift. There's a lot of different variables in play. But at the end of the day, I would say 90% or more of the times, cash is always king. That's what they say. But I hope you guys love these videos. Like I say, I mean, I did one this morning. I'm doing one again. I am so passionate about real estate. Freaking love it. I love education. I love doing videos. I love when people make comments. I have people that send me private messages all the time. I agree with your video. I didn't know this. I'm going to keep doing it more and more. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I'm going to say one more thing because it's the same day. Stranger Things. Really upset with you. That's all.